Hi everybody, and welcome to another video from Geeks vs. Geeks. So, up till now, I have been recording and streaming using pretty much the standard Elgato capture card, and for the camera I'm using a Elgato cam link, and it's been pretty good so far, but lately I have been experiencing a lot of hiccups, a lot of freezing, and a lot of input delay. So, after tweaking and trying different things out and really getting frustrated with my USB ports being taken by these two devices, I decided to go a different route, and today we are going to give a try with a different capture card that supposedly will meet both needs of those two cards combined. So we are going to have a look at the Avermedia Live Gamer Duo, a card that has a 4K throughput and 1080p capture with two different ports and one output to your main monitor. So this card essentially will replace both of these. How it's going to go? Let's have a look. I'm going to install it and test it, and I'll let you know what I think of it in this video. So let's go. Let's get it installed.
Even though Elgato is the big dog in streaming and media recording ring, there are alternatives available out there. In the past few years, Avermedia has been quietly building up a solid line of capture cards, microphones and webcams. With the Live Games Duo, they have created a unique entry in the market that provides two inputs on one card for a competitive price point. Now the inputs are recording only at 1080p, but will allow for high resolution throughput, making sure that that 1440p monitor and that fancy next-gen console still get to be used to their full potential. Despite these features, the card still has a relatively small footprint, coming in at 209 grams or 7.37 ounce. The box comes with the capture card, a manual and an HDMI 2.0 cable. Everything that you need to get started. Installing the card was really easy. It took about 10 minutes and then everything was ready to go. Now do not be fooled by this footage. The light actually does not come on until you install the card's software and update the drivers. So the card is installed, and the next thing you need to do is download the software to support the card. In the box, it will tell you in the manual a very complicated URL that I couldn't get to work, but a quick Google search showed me that I can simply go to avermedia.com/US support download, and I can actually download the Assist Central. Simply download this, install it, and from there you can just run the normal setup without any problems. So here it is installed. I'm going to open up this software. It's very basic. It has three parts. Basically, there is a setting area, there is a folder for all your recordings, and then there's of course the recording capture stream part that you see right here. Let me go back for a moment and just go to settings. Here you see everything that you need for Central. It does recognize your capture device, and it sees it as two different inputs. So two different capture devices in a way, even though it is one card. There's my Duo 1 and there's my Duo 2. I can immediately from here check for updates, and as you can see, updates already done. It tells me some information about my motherboard, so a lot of useful information. It does warn on the box or in the manual that in some cases certain motherboards might be incompatible a little bit with the card. So if you run into any issues, make sure you go back to the manual and find the specifications, right? Here's my other card. Here it also tells me a little bit about the pulsing RGB. Does pulsing and blinking or solid, but you can't... Is there solid? No, there's no solid. But you cannot pick the color that it does. It's either pulsing or... And then of course, when you turn it off, it doesn't have any lighting, so you don't know if the card is on or not. But if you are annoyed by it, you can turn it off. A little bit of about. Again, there's more information about that. In some cases, if there's an issue, you can turn the HDCP, off. Gives you some information about when that's needed. So if you find issues with that, you can adjust it as well. There's some shortcuts. You can quickly add these in so that way you can start recording and streaming real quick. There's a profile setup if that's what you want, and then a little bit more about. And that's really all for settings. The next thing is the media share. So anything that you record, you can put on a share thing and share it out from there. I do not have any recorded videos right now here because I'm using OBS, but you can use this application natively to record things or directly go and stream. And as you can see here, it's a little dark. I turned the light off, but I can have a quick setup. So if I do a capture or stream, I can do a single stream or simply go to a multi setup and immediately have this right here, a basic stream scene based on the layout that I chose and where I put my inputs. You go record, you record anything that you want. You can take a quick snapshot, and it even tells you how much time you have available to record at this quality, which is nice, and you can adjust that as well. If you're going to stream, you can choose or set up your streaming platform. Just put your stream key in and the stream URL, and boom, you are ready to go. And as you can see, it's natively already supporting Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, all kinds of natively supported applications there straight into the game. You even can make a couple of different scenes, which is pretty cool. Here's some more options. Little away screen, things like that. So that is all built in. It comes straight with the software. And again, it's very basic, right? So it's not going to be full OBS broadcasting. But if you want to jump online real quick, or you just want to make a quick recording that you use for gameplay for something else, you can do that as well. Here's some multi-streaming if that's what you want to do, and remind you that in some cases you're not allowed to multi-stream, so keep that in mind if you're, for instance, an affiliate or a partner. But if you can, this is one way to set it up as well. So very nicely built into the software, and your audio mixer to set up what the playback devices are. Everything works. Nothing was hard to use. It is a little harsh on the CPU, but depending on your setup, you should be able to handle that just fine. And that brings us to the end of this software. That's really it. Basic stuff, easy to use, not very complicated. Now, of course, you're asking, hey, what does it look like? Well, here's some test footage that I took from different input sources. I used a PC, a PlayStation 4, and a Nintendo Classic console real quickly to capture some footage. Everything was easy, just plug in the HDMI cable, the signal came up, and I was ready to use it in either the software that came with the capture card, or in this case I just OBS to record everything. Interestingly enough, the response rate is really good. I could actually play some games, or really most of these games, without a very big delay. I would say about 30 to 40 milliseconds, which is clearly still too much for some fighting games or Twitch shooters, but it worked really well in the games that you see here. That for me was a big difference with the Elgato capture card, which for some reason had a massive delay in response. I would click the button and it would take a full second to 2 seconds before something would happen. The audio capture was also very good, very crisp, didn't need any adjustments. It was really just plug in and go. I also did not have to put any filters in to change lightness or blackness levels, but of course that depends on your preference and you can adjust it as needed. Overall, very smooth experience, easy to use, plug and play, as it says on the box. Right, everybody, we're about a week in of testing of this card, and the final verdict is basically wow. Absolutely fantastic. Super easy to install. The software might be basic, but everything just works. I was able to update the card very easily, use it immediately in OBS, and never had any hiccups. Both the camera as well as any recording of external sources, HDMI of course, worked very well. Yes, there is a slight difference. The cam link is 4K, I am aware. And of course you can get 4K internal capture cards, but One card saves a lot of space. You free up USB spots if you use an external card. And internally, Elgato does not have anything to compete yet with this product. You will end up with one input only. So if you get 2 cards, simple math, you have 4 inputs for a really, really good price, and the quality is really, really well. If you want to record in 4K, then you might have a problem, but if most of your output is 1080p anyway, this will function really, really well. This is a great card to have in there. I do not regret moving over. I definitely will continue using it. And really, Elgato, the ball is in your court. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and subscribe. And why don't you, while you're at it, give us a comment here below and let us know what it is that you use to record your gameplay and your video. I'm curious to know what it is that most people are using right now and what their experience is with that. If you want to see us live and come say hello, we are on Twitch most weekends, Friday and Saturday. Just click the follow button and you'll get a warning when we go live. Love to see you there. Until then, I'd say stay safe, stay geek, and I'll see you next time.